The throne room of the Veiled Dominion had seen 1,000 surrenders. Warlords, empires, species that had burned entire star systems just to sit at this table. None of them looked like the man standing in chains before Queen Serath Vok. He was small, soft-skinned. No claws, no plating, no bioluminescent threat display. Just a human Corporal Ethan Reyes, the last survivor of a research outpost her fleet had pacified 6 hours earlier. Behind her, holographic screens replayed the final broadcast from that outpost. A single soldier, a single object clutched in his hands, and 40 of her elite HFY Guard, the most feared boarding unit in the Dominion, lying motionless on the floor. Not dead, just down. "You defeated my guard," Queen Serath said, her 4 eyes narrowing. With that, she gestured at the object now resting on a black pedestal beside the throne. It was ugly, utilitarian. A dull gray cylinder with a simple trigger and a cracked plastic casing, clearly assembled by hand from spare parts. "That is not a weapon," she continued, voice dripping with contempt loud enough for the entire court to hear. "That is scrap metal. My scientists have studied it for 6 hours. No power core, no projectile chamber, no energy signature at all." Laughter rippled through the assembled nobles. Ethan didn't laugh. He didn't even look up right away. When he finally did, there was something in his eyes that made the laughter falter before it fully spread. "You're right," he said quietly. "It's not a weapon." The HFY Guard had breached Outpost Theta 9 in under 4 minutes. Their armor could shrug off plasma fire. Their neural relays let all 40 soldiers move as a single organism, anticipating each other's strikes before they happened. Ethan Reyes was not a soldier by training. He was a xenobiologist assigned to atmospheric containment, the guy who made sure the outpost's artificial environment didn't collapse when alien spores got loose. He had exactly 1 combat simulation under his belt, and he'd failed it. When the alarms hit, his first instinct wasn't to grab a rifle. It was to grab the thing sitting on his workbench, a modified atmospheric resonance emitter, built 3 weeks earlier to stabilize an unstable containment field after a specimen breach. He hadn't built it to hurt anyone. He'd built it to keep the air breathable. But when the HFY Guard's neural relay, the system letting all 40 of them move as one, synced with the outpost's local frequency band to coordinate their assault, Ethan realized something the Dominion's engineers never accounted for. Their neural relay ran on the exact frequency range his resonance emitter was designed to stabilize. He didn't fire a weapon. He recalibrated a life support device to broadcast a sharp resonance pulse directly into that frequency band, the same way you tap a wine glass at just the right pitch to shatter it. 40 elite soldiers, mid-sync, hit by a signal their own neural implants interpreted as catastrophic feedback. Every one of them dropped, not from damage, but from their own nervous systems misfiring under the overload. Ethan hadn't hurt a single one of them. He'd just made their greatest advantage, perfect unity, turn against itself for 4 seconds. 4 seconds was enough. "It's an atmospheric stabilizer," Ethan said, meeting the Queen's 4 eyes without flinching. "I built it to filter spores out of recycled air. It has never fired a projectile. It has never released a single joule of destructive energy." Queen Serath's mandibles clicked in confusion. "Then explain my guard." "Your guard's strength is also their weakness. 40 minds acting as one is terrifying, until something disrupts the one thing holding them together. I didn't beat your soldiers. I beat your design philosophy." Silence spread across the court like frost. "You people build war machines assuming your enemy will fight the way you do," Ethan continued. "Bigger guns, stronger armor, more coordination. My species has spent our whole history solving problems with whatever happened to be sitting on the table. Sometimes that's a gun. Sometimes it's a fire extinguisher. Sometimes," he glanced at the cylinder, "it's an air filter." The Queen rose slowly from her throne, her contempt curdling into something colder and far more dangerous. "Understanding. You are saying," she said, "that any tool your species touches becomes a threat." "I'm saying you should stop asking what our weapons look like," Ethan said, "and start asking what we're capable of improvising with absolutely nothing." For the first time in the recorded history of the Veiled Dominion, Queen Serath Vok did not respond immediately. She studied the small, unarmed human standing in her throne room, the one who had disabled her most elite unit with a device meant to purify air. Then, quietly, to her nearest advisor, double the fleet assigned to human space. Triple it. Ethan allowed himself the smallest smile. They finally understood. Just a little too late.